What up, everybody? Episode 1 of Power. After the opening night of Club Truth, Ghost was standing across the street and he said, "I did it. Your boy did it, Pops," before Tommy walked up on him. Later in the episode, when Ghost was having lunch with Angela, we got more context into why Ghost was talking to his father across the street at Truth. She mentioned that his father had a nightclub and that his father would be proud of him. That's when Ghost said to Angela, "I told you about my father's nightclub? He lost the place before we met. I didn't remember I ever told you that." And Angela told Ghost, "We told each other everything back then." So I want to look at what Ghost said to Angela, how his father lost his nightclub before we met, going back and looking at this from the perspective that Lulu is Ghost's father, that Ghost didn't meet until he was a little bit older, because it changes everything. And I'll get into all the clues concerning Lou being Ghost's father in a minute. Because when he told Angela that his father lost his nightclub before we met, could he have actually been talking about before he met his father? Because at the time we assumed he was talking about before he met Angela. But what if he was actually talking about meeting his father? And Ghost told Angela how he met his father and how his father used to have a nightclub. And Lou told Ghost that his goal was to get another nightclub in Manhattan like the one he used to have. And that's why Ghost later opened up Club Truth in Manhattan and was standing across the street telling his father his boy did it because he opened up that club in Manhattan, feeling like he finally made his father proud. Because we do know that Ghost's father did still own a bar with Ghost Uncle Gabe later on down the line, what Ghost later bought and intended to turn into the QCP, the Queen's Child Project. That wasn't the same bar that Ghost told Angela his father lost. And if Ghost is actually Lulu's son, they wouldn't have actually met at this point. What would have happened is Lulu got a girl pregnant when he was in high school around the age of 16 or 17. But he never knew that the girl got pregnant because she likely disappeared or something like that, similar to how Monet moved once she got pregnant with Zeke, and Mecca never knew he had a child until years later. It would be a similar situation. And let me stop to say this real quick, that Ghost's mother would not be Famous' sister from season 1. That would make Ghost only like 1 or 2 years old. But his mother is another female we've never seen on camera that Lou dealt with back in the day. I wanted to say this because a lot of people were confused about this, thinking that I was talking about Jessica being Ghost's mother in my other videos I made on this topic. But Ghost is likely around 12 or 13 years old on the current Raising Kanan timeline. This would be around the age where he could start getting in trouble, and it could be too much for his mother to handle, a young, struggling, single mother. Then one day she could possibly drop him off to Lou and let him know that Jamie is his son. And the woman disappears, and Ghost never sees his mother again after that. This is why later on in Power Season 2, Tommy told Ghost that he had no mother. Ghost's mother probably brought him to meet Lou and said that she was going to let them talk in private so they can get to know each other. Then she got in her car and drove off to never be seen again. Also keep in mind what OG Kanan, the narrator, said in the Season 4 teaser. He said, "To find out where you're going, you have to look back at where you've been. Because there's things that happened that seem like they didn't mean nothing at the time." This could definitely be a clue that Lou finds out that he has a long-lost son this season. Also, to clear things up about Ghost's father's name, his name was never said on screen in Power, either though there's been rumors that his father's name is Curtis. But I think that's more of a joke because 50 Cent's real name is Curtis, and he's the creator of the Ghost character. And when Tommy told Ghost that he had no mom, he also told Ghost that he had a drunk for a dad. Keep in mind that Lou just went to rehab at the end of Raising Kanan Season 3 for his drinking problem. Now he might get out of rehab and be clean for a while, and possibly even when Ghost meets his father. But at the same time, I still believe that Lou will turn back to the bottle eventually, and this is why Tommy called Ghost's father a drunk, because we know how sloppy Lou can get. Before Lou went to rehab, he was also working at a club in Manhattan with a woman named Shirley, Lou is supposed to become the owner of that nightclub when Shirley retires. That should be sometime soon. If Lou's Ghost father, this could be the club that Ghost father lost before Ghost met him. Also keep in mind that Rock is now the owner of a strip mall in Queens. This could actually end up being the location of the bar that Ghost father / Lulu end up owning later down the line that Ghost goes and talks to Gabe about in Power Season 6. That becomes the Queen's Child Project. I wouldn't put it past Rock to do something to manipulate a situation where Lou loses the club in Manhattan and is forced to open up a bar at her strip mall in Queens. And she makes it look like she's actually doing him a favor. Also keep in mind it was said that Ghost's father always used to preach to him that drug dealers either end up dead or in jail. This is the type of mindset that Lou is definitely starting to have. Lou no longer wants any part of the game. It's similar to Drew at the end of Power Book 2, how he was sick of all the killing and all the destruction. Lou wanted out in Season 3, and that's what led to his drinking problem. So soon, sometime in the near future on the Raising Kanan timeline, is when Ghost would meet his father, Lou. And if Ghost was a troublemaking kid, and that's why his mother brought him to Lou in the first place, Lou will definitely be preaching to Ghost that drug dealers either end up dead or in jail, trying to keep him away from that life. There's also the clue for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4 Episode 7. After Diana killed Felicia Lewis, Felicia's son came to the stairs and was looking at Diana and Tariq. Diana told the child that she was Officer whatever she said, and Tariq specifically said that he was Officer Thomas. If Lou is actually Ghost's father, that would technically make Tariq a Thomas. But obviously, since Lou wasn't around when Ghost was a child, that's why he had a different last name, and most likely St. Patrick is his mother's last name. There's also a chance that Ghost changed his last name altogether when his father died and when he went to live with Kate, and that's why he changed his last name to St. Patrick. Keeping in mind that both of Kate's sons, JP and Tommy, both have the middle name Patrick. So Tariq telling the child he's Officer Thomas definitely could just be another clue that Lou is Ghost's father. Also keep in mind that back in the day, Ghost and Tommy used to have a rap group called JSP and Tommy Tom. With Lulu being a music producer, this could have been his way of trying to keep James and his friend Tommy out of the streets. Also keep in mind that both James and Lulu are known for having hallucinations, seeing things that aren't there. This could definitely be a hereditary thing, something that runs in their family's bloodline. But the hard part to make work about this theory is the fact that this would make Kanan and Jukebox Ghost cousins, and it never seemed like they were cousins from OG Power. But at the same time, keep in mind the lifestyle that Kanan is currently living. If Ghost is Lou's son, when Lou finds this out later on down the line, I can see a scenario when Lou would want to keep his son James away from his family so their criminal lifestyles wouldn't rub off on his son. Because of that, I think the only person in his family that he would trust to tell he has a son is Marvin. Keep in mind what was said about Marvin from the very beginning, that he was loyal. So I can see Lou telling Marvin he doesn't want his son around that life. Please try to keep him away from the streets and keep this secret for him. And definitely don't let Rock know about it either. But Ghost was probably outside all the time, and Lou really had no control over him because of his drinking. And Ghost met Kanan and turned to the streets anyway. Also, if this theory is true, this would make Gabe and Uncle Marvin the same person. Now the question is, would Marvin have reason to change his name from Marvin Thomas? Keep in mind that Jukebox also later changed her name from Thomas to Ganner. Because when she's a cop and she's introduced in Power Season 3, her last name is Ganner at that point. The reason why Marvin and Jukebox might change their names is because last season, Marvin killed Mafia boss Sal Baselli. Because of that, he might take on a new identity in Jukebox as well. There's also another clue that Marvin might be Gabe and ends up being the last man standing at the end from that exact scene when he killed Sal Baselli. OG Kane, the narrator, says it this time. When you put in this kind of work, you gotta make peace with the fact you most likely won't live to see your kids grow. And even if you do, you're gonna take mad losses along the way. A lot of sad singing and flower bringing. If you're lucky enough to see your hair go gray in this month, you'll bury damn near every friend you ever had, anybody you ever ran with. The truth is, whenever you go, wherever or however you go, you're gonna be alone. It's just gonna be you and your God. You're all by yourself when you take that last breath in your own head. And that is the story of Marvin. If Lou is Ghost's father and Marvin is Gabe, he buried both Lou and Ghost, his daughter Jukebox, Kanan, and nobody knows whether his sister Rock is dead or alive. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.